Throughout history, we, as humans, have used the power of our minds to achieve incredible and amazing feats. In reality, our minds are simply tools we use to create our thoughts. And the quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our experiences. A simple shift in perception will quickly and easily improve how you feel and what you believe is possible, helping you to achieve all of your personal goals, even those that previously seemed unattainable. Join us now as we explore the vast landscapes of our minds. This is Mind Over Matter.
Good evening, I'm Mitch Friedman.
And I'm Brandelyn and Jokiel, and you're watching Mind Over Matter TV, where we teach you how to use various tips, tricks, and tools to feel better, overcome obstacles, and successfully reach your goals. That's what we do. We're hanging out here today in beautiful Santa Fe. The sun's coming out, and then it's going behind clouds, and it's coming out, and spring is right around the corner, Mitchell.
I know, last week people kept, it was so beautiful last week, and I got a taste of that beautiful, warm, sunny weather, and everybody kept saying it was going to snow again. I thought they were crazy, and here we are. On my way down here, it started snowing. I couldn't believe it.
You know, the snow's good for our springtime blooming and weather, and spring is going to come, and all the flowers are going to come out, and all the colors, and the greens and the pinks and the purples and the whites and the reds, and I'm so excited to have color back in our world instead of it being so gray and dreary. So winter's a good time to lie fallow, and now it's time to burst forth into spring.
Yeah, they're already selling, you know, those beautiful daffodils, the yellow daffodils that they sell all over. They do in Santa Fe for hospice. They sell them on all the corners. And today they were in the snow. They were out there selling daffodils, so it was kind of fun. And you know, I'm glad that you brought up color, because today I did a great interview with a woman. Her name is MARCIA, and it was all about color. She does like astrology readings, only she does them using color. It was really, really interesting.
How fascinating.
One of the things I kept thinking of during the interview is, you know, our house is all white.
Yes, it is.
White. Bobby loves to put the paintings on the wall, and he thinks it all looks better on white. But you have a whole different experience.
I have a whole different experience with color. To me, the more color, the better. And mixing colors together, mixing different textures, wall colors, floor colors, furniture colors. I get such a wonderful kick out of doing that, and to me it has to be the right shade and the right tone, and I can walk into a place and immediately feel either enveloped and welcomed by color, or sometimes I can feel like I want to run out screaming because the colors are just so wrong for me. So
well, you're in your house, the colors are so bold, and so I was so surprised the first time I walked in. Like, how did you decide on which colors, and is it a certain deal about the room, or how you want to feel in a certain room? Because it was so interesting.
Usually happens because I see something, I see a couch or a rug or even a paint sample somewhere, and I usually start building around one color. Okay. But you didn't even see my other house, Mitch. The other house, the house I have now, absolutely no color compared to the other one. I had a pink room, I had a yellow room, I had a blue room, and it actually flowed. It sounds a little bit weird. I would describe this to people, and I know it flowed because we didn't paint it before we sold it. We couldn't even get a for sale sign in the yard, and it sold within 48 hours.
People like color. It's exciting. It's alive. It's passion.
You would have loved our extremely bright yellow bathroom that had rubber duckies all over the place, and it was sunshine bright. It was like when you walked into there. So
I got the rubber duckies, but I don't have the bright yellow. Yeah, I can't even get Bobby to paint. I'm like, what about this one wall in this room upstairs that you don't even go into this room? Can I just paint one wall?
Like and no. Like ecru, like off-white? No.
Yeah, right. Like beige.
So I want to hear more about what MARCIA does with color, so let's go right on over to your interview, Mitch.
All right, enjoy. Good evening, I'm Mitch Friedman, and welcome to Mind Over Matter TV. I'm here tonight with a really good friend of mine. We met through a mutual friend, Leslie, down at the mall, and we started talking about this really interesting subject that I had never really heard much about, and it turns out that MARCIA Glaskins, our guest tonight, sort of created this whole modality of healing. It's called chromotherapy. So, introducing MARCIA Glaskins, welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, sure, it's great to have you here tonight.
Very happy to be here tonight.
So tell us a little bit about, I know you're from Maine, and this is where all this sort of got started. So tell us a little bit about how it got started and what chromotherapy is.
Well, it's sort of a long road and a short path, is how I like to look at it, because it brought together a lot of the various strains in my life, the things I realized growing up, seeing people come together, come apart. And so there's sort of vibrational attraction between people.
Energy. It's all about energy.
Exactly. Right. So as I got older and when I moved to Maine and actually in New York too, I started studying art. And as a part of that, I studied color and what color was all about. I also studied, when I was in college, physics. So I had some idea of waves and vibrations and the way these things interacted and kind of moved with each other and modulated. So it kind of was putting sort of an aha moment when I was like, oh, wow, this can all be put into color, because we're talking about light essentially, and light ends up being broken up into many, many different phases, you know, all of which we call color. You know, we see a certain spectrum of light. There's a visible spectrum which runs from red to violet, and that's what we see. Other creatures, other species see different colors than we do. So, but I found also in studying the color that I realized, and some of the reading I did, that what we are, we're little energy light beings. Yeah, exactly. Because every cell in our body contains a biophoton. Bio meaning light, and photon meaning light. So every part of us contains this bit of light that we're constantly generating out all around us, to all the people around us, to all the things around us, you know. And so it's just sort of like each person has their own individual light. And when I saw that, I started realizing that somehow or another it kind of dealt also with the aura. And if you've ever seen any Kirlian photographs, there's this Russian scientist who developed these kind of photography, and he'd take your picture and he'd show you your aura.
Absolutely.
So anybody who has one of those done can see that they're generating maybe blues or greens or oranges, or maybe they have a very dusky field. And that would be because their light photons aren't really giving out as much energy. Actually,
and does that change? I would imagine that would change moment by moment, since energetically we're sort of shifting and changing all the time. So if it's gray in one moment or a dark kind of color, I mean, I imagine when that person would get happy, wouldn't that turn into a brighter...
Exactly, okay. Yeah. And certain people generate certain colors pretty much typically. And oftentimes you see they come together. You know, it's kind of like a lot of these groups of people who come together. They're all kind of generating similar colors or complementary colors.
And it's funny that you say that, because people always come up to me in the store, especially lately, and, oh, I see green all around you. So what's green? Tell me a little bit about it.
So green is a lot of different things, and we think of green as being money.
I like that.
Yeah, who doesn't? It has to do with healing, because the color of nature, a lot of the color of nature is green. So it has to do with healing and growth and vitality. So there's a lot of that, but there's also the negative aspect of green, which is kind of like green with envy. So, and different cultures see green differently. There is one culture, right now I can't remember exactly which one it is, but in which green is mourning. It's very, it's interesting, because so many cultures see things differently than we do. In India, red is the color of purity. I mean, here in this world.
It's about energy, I think. And
energy. And you think of the red light district, right? So you wouldn't ever actually think of that as purity. That's why a lot of brides will wear red on the Indian subcontinent.
When they get married, they're in red. Ooh.
I know. Well,
it means a whole different thing in this country.
That's exactly right. So different colors mean different things to different people. And that's one thing you find out when you work in this modality, is that people generate a color based upon how they're feeling. Now, each person's determination and interpretation of how they feel is different from each other person's. You know, it's like when you look at a painting, let's say, different people are going to interpret it in different ways. So it's all how it affects you, how you are relating to the colors and to the energy of that painting.